This is the Ruckus and The Menace Sports Podcast.
Oh no! We suck again!
I'm getting confused. What game are you calling?
I'm calling both games.
It is caught by Kelsey! Touchdown! Kansas City!
Anthony for three. Bang!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ruckus and The Menace Sports Podcast. I am Ruckus.
And I'm Ruckus and The Menace.
And this episode, we're going to get right into it with starting lineup, the high heat, our color commentary, and our always awesome segment, the primetime game, where Spanish usually whips me. But you know, I'm a little confident this week, because you know why? Because you got to fight for your right to party. Okay. I'm not gonna do the part. Okay, I already did it. I slipped.
You were already rolling into the Beastie Boys, but even though this episode is the Jackie Robinson episode, kind of in a way, because this is episode 42, there's no Sleep Till Brooklyn.
And then we also have our stud and dud and what have you, and it wouldn't be a Ruckus and the Menace podcast without our Clint Eastwood segment, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll save the good, bad, and ugly for later. But Spanish, how have you been?
It's been quite a journey, I can tell you that much, because this week has involved a lot of time on the road, a lot of time trying to prepare for next month, and trying to really just cherish as much time as I have of just what I have, of just kind of what I have left here in this setup. Because this all is going to be moving soon. How about you?
I've been just pretty much playing either sports games like Madden, pretty much modded Madden, to be honest. I'm playing a lot of Warhammer Darktide. The new patch came out. Nothing really too special. Played some MLB The Show just so I could get some more practice in, get my gains in, so I could put a whooping on you later in the future. And then there was a new patch for Battlefield 2042 where they brought the original class system back for the game, and so far so good. The game feels a little bit more balanced. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and be like, oh my god, this is the best video game ever. It's still got its rough spots, but it is what it is. But yeah, obviously the Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But yeah, let's get right into the starting lineup here. Where do we want to start?
Well, kind of start on a little bit of a somber note, as Hockey Hall of Famer Bobby Hull, also known for being the father of fellow Hall of Famer Brett Hull, passed away. And Bobby Beffert, the longtime NFL executive, primarily from the Washington Commanders side of it, just passed away today in his mid-80s. So kind of those two major things happened. Novak Djokovic won the men's Australian Open. But really, the rest of my major stuff here, do we want to drop the ding-dong, the 45-year-old quarterback's retired, or did we want to wait till the high heat? Because I don't think any of us, and none of us kind of put that in there because it just happened today.
Let's let the news incubate a little bit, because that egg could hatch into a early chicken, or we could be counting our eggs before they hatch. Because who knows? The man will say on
counting. You mean counting the chickens before the hatch?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because even though we clearly know that the egg came first before the chicken, you gotta make sure you're not counting the chickens before they hatch. However, this feels more genuine this time around that Tom Brady is saying that he is done for good, but still,
I mean, he's got to pay back Giselle somehow. All that NFL money that he's acquired isn't going to be enough. I think that Fox deal is going to help him
probably if
out.
we had like nice guy here, he'd probably say I give it a week, and then I would just look and say I give him 11 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know, because I thought Julian Edelman would come back out of retirement too to play with them last season, and that shit did not happen. So,
well, that would have been Edelman or Gronk.
Well, now Gronk is kicking a field goal to win $10 million on FanDuel,
and hosting Gronk Beach as we know from the Kelsey brothers.
mm-hmm.
But but we have some notable baseball stuff. Really major moves. The Marlins and Red Sox trade relievers. Darren O'Day announces retirement. Zach Greinke remains a Royal. Glaber avoids arbitration. There were a few other arbitration things that have gone on as well, but I'm not gonna give you guys too many of all the details, as arbitration is just a matter of how much is this phrase actually going to be, rather than it's like a court order for franchise tags in a way.
Everyone in favor of giving this man 3 years, $30 million, say aye.
Oh, but we have that the Rays, kind of at long last, they're not leaving St. Pete. They actually are looking at keeping St. Petersburg long term as home, but they are looking at planning an outline for a new stadium. So we soon will no longer have their stadium be Tropicana Field within the next few years. Are we kind of in the yay, nay?
I really just don't care, to be honest. I mean, good for them that they're getting a new stadium or whatnot, but I have a feeling it's gonna be domed like the one they have there. Hopefully it's better kept and maintained compared to the petting zoo that is Tropicana Field.
Well, the hard part is that Florida is not necessarily very hurricane proof.
What are you talking about?
I mean, they're right there along the Gulf of Mexico where a good amount of those hit. I mean, New Orleans, you kind of have New Orleans, but granted, that's a city below sea level.
Yeah, I was being facetious. If Scorpion has anything to say about it, they would rock you like a hurricane. That's what I'd be doing. I would get the guitar out and start pulling a Jack Black like in School Rock, or in Brutal Legend when he's just going ham on the guitar while beating out orcs and demons and stuff.
That was absolutely not where I was going with that.
You have a point.
Because you were saying the Dome Stadium, it's like they're not going to put an outdoor stadium there because Florida is not necessarily a very great hurricane-proof state. That was all I was getting at.
True
story. That was
story.
all I was really saying.
I just went on a dumb tangent. That's just how Ruckus rolls. I'm sorry, buddy.
But the
And then
grandson of Harry Carey, Chip Carey, is now going to become the broadcaster for the St. Louis Cardinals, following in his grandfather's footsteps.
sounds appetizing.
Well, that was also not where that was going at all.
Well, I mean, it's mostly air anyways in the bag, so I mean, he is going to be on air as a broadcaster. All
Every
right, I need to
single
quit.
one of your puns is just. I'm trying to let it go in one and out the other. And just not let that go. Not just let them fly and let them keep missing. But
Speaking of puns, Jazz Chisholm has been named as the cover athlete for MLB The Show 23.
wait, where's the pun?
Maybe there's some smooth jazz in the music in the background of the game. You know, you're just like trying to do your Diamond Dynasty, and then all of a sudden there's some smooth jazz to relax you after you rage quit from a really horrible match that you just played.
Ruckus. Again, swing and a miss. But with Jazz Chisholm being named the cover athlete for MLB The Show 23, is there any excitement for him being the cover athlete? Because a lot of the community is very, very not in favor. They were thinking it was going to be Julio Rodriguez.
I feel like whoever it was, they're probably going to be a little upset about it either way. Because like, yeah, you could have had Julio, you could have had someone else like Bobby Witt, you could have had Chisholm, but at the end of the day, someone is going to get the cover, and if it's not the player that you thought it was going to be and you're disappointed, so be it. You're still going to play the game anyways. It is what it is.
I think with the marketability that Jazz Chisholm brings to the table, Miami is not the most marketable baseball team, but Jazz Chisholm could have a very interesting concept as a marketable player. What I'm looking forward to with this is to see if there's anything special that involves Jazz Chisholm that he brings to the table for the game. Because he was talking about in his little promo about a 6v6, no umpires, smashing. I'm like, are we getting like almost like a mode that kind of simulates that, or like simulates Sandlot Ball, or something along those lines?
Killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Okay, that actually fits.
You know, it'd be really funny. It'd be really funny.
You finally got the right PF Flyers on and was able to take that and run. There you go.
Why
now
you gotta be
hit.
so rude? I'm just kidding. What I was going to say before
I was going along with the PF Flyers in another Sandlot reference there, but
I was thinking, it'd be really funny if in Diamond Dynasty or other things like where you could like create your own like stadium if they had a Sandlot, and then you could have like a big old dog be all angry whenever you hit a home run over the fence, and you just hear a or something like that.
Well, they have the sound effects, so it's quite possible. Quite possible.
All right.
But now we get to wrap up championship weekend in the NFL. And with really only 2 games going on, in recapping the film room, going into Super Bowl week, there is an 8-game lead. Yeah, Ruckus, I had a terrible week last week as far as picking those championship games and even my anytime touchdown scores and all that. I went 1-7, while you went 6-2. So it kind of set itself up. But we will figure out those, and we will actually predict the Super Bowl next week. But the most impressive team for you this week, Ruckus, is
How about those Chiefs?
and I went with the EAGLES Eagles.
I can already tell where this is turning and what this is going to turn into next week.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, well, we'll see.
The most disappointing team.
I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers for the fat L they took against the Eagles.
Now, hear me out, Ruckus. My most disappointing team this week was a team that didn't even play football.
Why are you beating a dead horse?
Well, we had some coach hirings happen. And granted that if you would have asked me a couple days ago, I would have told you the Carolina Panthers. But after doing a little bit more reading this morning about what Carolina was trying to do, and then seeing what another certain team did, I had to revise it and say that I can't necessarily say let's ride with the Denver Broncos this week, as I think they're hiring. Granted that the coach they hired was great. It was a great choice. I cannot justify the means of what they spent to do it. And I will get to that later.
Sounds a good.
But I just can't justify it.
In a formal way, you said, I grabbed a bat and started hitting the horse some more.
It's necessarily a dead horse at the why would I be saying that I'm beating a dead horse when there were when it comes to the Broncos versus maybe a couple of these other teams that we've kind of really put a whole lot of hurt into, the Broncos kind of had a lot of that coming.
Yeah, and that horse is starting to look like Jello, and it's not a good flavor either.
That was just most impressive player.
This is gonna be.
You're saying I'm being a dead horse, but at the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm saying that based on a decision that was made, I can't call them the most disappointing team this week because of a decision that I just think this ain't it, Chief.
I'm just giving you a really hard time. That's all good.
But for our most impressive players, we both took Chiefs, but two different Chiefs.
I took Travis Kelce, and not just for his trash talk, but for just the way he played against the Bengals. I believe he had 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to say that the one that was really keeping the ball moving for the Chiefs was probably the one that I considered the most impressive player at this point. I'm taking MVS as my most impressive player for just kind of making those critical catches to kind of keep certain things moving along.
And you said who?
MVS.
Okay, I was making sure you said Marquez and not Marquez, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Marquez. I think it actually is Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
he won't answer your questions if you say Marquez. It's Marquez.
Or it's Marquez.
Yeah, he even said it like in the post game interview he had on Sunday, and it was hilarious. He was like, "If you call me Marquez, I'm not answering your question." Like, just dead on, like serious. All right.
But it's now time for our Eastwood segment: the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I know that probably crossed through on the recording,
It did, and I just
but
now
that
switched.
that chopped up like a bunch of karate on the
Whoa,
on hearing that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. All right, you're welcome there. See, that wasn't choppy, but you know what is choppy? The tomahawk chop. Because we be chopping. Inserts tomahawk chop.
Yeah, but again, wrong region, wrong sport. Well, maybe not the wrong sport in a certain case, but wrong region. As really the two of the teams that have it are in the South. And I'm talking Florida and Georgia.
All right, we ready to do the good, bad, and ugly?
Yep. All right. What was the good for you this week?
The good for me this week was the Chiefs' adversity for being down 4 wide receivers. You heard that shit. 4 wide receivers. Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, Juju Smith-Schuster, McCall Hardman. And then not only that, you're down the Dustbuster, Willie Gay Jr. You were down a star corner in L'Jarius Sneed. And you also had a hurt Kelsey and Mahomes. They played through it, and they were dogs, as McAfee would say on his Pat McAfee show. They were dogs.
And I'm going to say this. Shout out to J. Kelsey and T. Kelsey for this one, because there was some new news, and that this Super Bowl will be taken to new heights. And this is a little more pun intended, because this is the Kelsey Bowl.
Also, Jason Kelsey is no longer a Chiefs fan until the end of the Super Bowl. He even said it in a tweet.
We knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. And you know that these next 2 weeks on that podcast are going to be some of the most entertaining and anticipated episodes of New Heights, because these two are going to be going at it. Meanwhile, what was not so good this week?
My bad this week is hashtag NFL rigged that trended on Twitter a couple hours after the AFC Championship game because of the NFL referee situation that's kind of been going on. And when I mean kind of, it's a more strong definition, because a lot of people were saying that the NFL rigged the game to make it into the Chiefs' favor, especially on a third down play where it went from a 4th down back to a 3rd down, and it made Zach Taylor very upset.
Oh, that was horrible, because the what was even worse was that the ref screwed it up to cause the problem to begin with. And that just makes that ref look incredibly stupid.
The definition of what I understood of all of it was that they called the ball or the play dead, and that's why they did it. But even then, I was really confused because
No, but here's where the problem was caused. The problem was caused by the referee who, following complete pass on second down, decided to set the play clock to 10 seconds and run it. Like as if the clock was not previously stopped. Then the back judge comes, knowing exactly what the heck happened, and tries to communicate it, and the communication was terrible. And that actually is leading right into my dud, and I'll get that one out of the way. Is that the communication was bad. And I think even the officiating in really both games kind of was a little wonky. And hopefully we don't have a Super Bowl that's like that. Get the very best crew and the very best referees from some of the individual crews and make them work together. Cut out the bias, cut the crap. Let's trim the fat and get the best guys that know how to do their job and let them run the championship together.
meaning Sheffers, this isn't your week or next week.
Or Torbert.
How do we feel about Bill Venovich? Is he okay? Is he not on our shit list?
For what?
Just not being a very good ref, I guess, or is he fine? I feel like he's okay. I feel like he's on the neutral end of things rather than
Yeah,
on
I
the...
would have almost would have said Hockey would be solid. But just get the best guys. Just get the best ones from each crew.
All right.
And my bad comes from the NFC side. And really, it was just a sticky quarterback situation as a result of injuries. And the ugliness of that was that the injury to Brock Purdy that he was having to deal with. And it left the 49ers kind of rendered completely useless.
Yeah, it was not a good game for the 49ers at all.
Yeah, and that's why I gave the 49ers the benefit of the doubt of being the most disappointing team, was because they just kind of got rendered completely useless, and it was bad that Brock Purdy was trying to do all that with a torn UCL.
Yeah, it was either him or McCaffrey. I probably would have rather just had McCaffrey out there, to be honest, as bad as that sounds. Because he was at least had a healthy arm compared to that. But then you lose accuracy and you risk that happening, like an interception or something. But you're playing the Eagles, for God's sake. Just do what you can. All right.
And then, what was your ugly?
My ugly is a very controversial one, but what isn't controversial this episode? The unnecessary roughness call on Mahomes resulting in the defensive player getting hurt at the end of the play as well. So not only did the Chiefs benefit from this, and this is like the big turn of events in the game that gave us a 15 yards added from that penalty of unnecessary roughness, but man, it was a brutal one. A lot of people are saying it was a very soft play. There were others actually saying that it was good. I
Like it was clean, like he was still in bounds when contact was made?
something like that. I don't know. I think most of the beneficiary or the people that said it was a benefit were people on the side that saw that it was a good call, like that it was actually unnecessary roughness rather than a soft play. Like people that benefiting meaning like Chiefs fans. I should say.
Yeah.
I was trying not to sound like I was bashing my own people, because that just sounds dumb and ironic.
Yeah. I mean that. I mean that was simply a bad timing, but it's like, but at the same time, there were so many other situations that Cincinnati could have gotten themselves out of it, and they just couldn't really have play the offense at the moment to really get the job done. But who was the defensive player that got hurt?
I believe it was Ochai. Was his name?
Oh, like not even a starter.
Yeah. I I like he wasn't on the bench, but he was the guy that did the unnecessary roughness at the end. Because
Oh,
at the end of the play, he's like down on the ground and holding his knee on the sideline.
ah. But my ugly for this is the Broncos draft situation and the urgency to get a quarterback other than Russell Wilson. So I mean, Denver just got back into the first round with making a deal with Miami. They are now back out of the first round after hiring Sean Payton. And that to me just doesn't sit well, especially because you potentially will be needing to grab a quarterback. There's no urgency for that in this draft now because you're out of the first round. And all these eggs are in one basket again to a quarterback who played like a lemon.
Also, not a very good cook, from what I hear.
I guess Sean Payton's trying to figure out what he can do to possibly make to to kind of take advantage of being able to lead this offense led by a quarterback the next great quarterback to go into cash for clunkers.
I mean, there's some Southern comfort coming in, so maybe Sean Payton could put his chef hat on and help Russ out with his cooking a little bit to get him back to uh, cooking good in the neighborhood.
I see where you were trying to go there, but it kind of didn't go well with the cash for clunkers.
Eh, I was going on my own route anyways. I'm always causing a ruckus. You know me.
Yep. But we both said that the best game was Chiefs Bengals, and we both said that the Eagles 49ers was the worst game.
53 million people watching the Chiefs and Bengals. Wow.
Well, that game was definitely captivating. That's why. And it was prime time.
All right, ready for my bold take?
All right, what you got?
Mama Kelsey and Papa Kelsey doing the coin toss at the beginning of the game for the Super Bowl. I want it to happen. Don't pull a band geeks on us like you did in 2017 NFL. Come on, make it happen.
My bold take this week is that the NFC East once again continues to prove how they became the best division in football this season. They proved it once again. 3 teams in the division series, 4 teams with a record of 500 or better, which pretty much is every single one of them. And now, your NFC champions. And the NFC East team also had the best record in the NFL. All they need to do is add Super Bowl champion to it, and boom, the NFC East won best division in football this year.
You know what's interesting with that stat? I saw a CBS Sports stat, and it was also kind of a meme too. They showed both records for Kansas City and Philadelphia being 16-3, with that including postseason, and they have the same amount of points that they've had for the season. And the meme is the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. I saw that today and I was like, oh my god, I can't let that up. Alright, burning question
Okay.
time.
Yep.
My burning question is, with the Chiefs starter health the next 2 weeks, is it going to be enough for them to be healthy? That could be an obvious yes, but also I'm concerned about A, Kadarius Toney, B, Juju Smith-Schuster, whether or not he's going to make it, because with the knee issues, he has reoccurring knee issues from time to time, but I'm hoping it's not serious, like an ACL or something like that. And then also, like, just the health of our defensive men. Like, I heard in an interview that Willie Gay was gonna be back for the Super Bowl, and I hope that L'Jarius Sneed will be healthy enough. He does have a few weeks to go to get healthy, and I don't know if he's on concussion protocol or yet or what, but I assume so, since they were saying he had a concussion.
Yeah, you got about 2 weeks. That's it. And really, it's down to about a week and a half. But my burning question, out of the 3 new coaching hires with Frank Reich in Carolina, D'Amico Ryans in Houston, and Sean Payton in Denver, which one is the most intriguing in seeing what happens for that team next season?
I'm saying Houston with D'Amico Ryan. I think because when you think, because was D'Amico Ryan the offensive or defensive coordinator? Just
He was the D'Amico Ryans was a linebacker in Houston who then eventually became a defensive coach in San Francisco.
well, my point is for Houston, because the same thing went with Savali, or the now head coach for the Jets.
You
Do
mean
you
Robert
think?
Sala?
Yeah, I don't know why I was saying Savali. Yeah, Robert Sala. Um, I think like what Robert Sala was with the defensive coordinator, going from that to being a head coach with the Jets, and like reviving how, quote unquote, the Jets situation when it came to like their team state, almost getting into the chase for the AFC East, kind of like how, and I feel like they're Houston's in the AFC North, so I feel like
No, Houston's in the South.
man, um, the AFC, I think he'll help them do get more success in the AFC South. Yes, Lovie Smith did a semi decent job in the beginning, but then we all know what happened at the end. But man, I hope D'Amico Ryan turns it around a little bit. I hope he makes Houston more interesting to look at next season, and we'll see what happens.
The notable thing about Carolina's, this is the first offensive minded coach that Carolina has had in their franchise history. And they've only had 6 coaches. So that's interesting. Houston, D'Amico Ryans is loved there. D'Amico Ryans is also a sign of where the coaching times have been going. And that is they have been going younger. O'Connell, LaFleur, McVay. Like they're not old. Some of these guys haven't even crossed the 40-year-old hold. So these highly enhanced minds of the NFL head coaches are getting younger and younger. And this could mean something. So honestly, it's probably going to go more toward D'Amico Ryans. But I think Carolina what Frank Reich can do as an offensive minded coach in trying to improve that offense is something too.
Yeah, I feel like uh D'Amico Ryan's number one, number two on the list would have to be Frank Reich. With the whole
Yep.
Sean Payton thing with Denver, I could honestly care less. Like, if I want to see what he does rather than be like, oh my god, I'm so scared as an AFC West contender against Denver. Like, I don't care. You could, I mean, last season, or actually, I should say this season with Nathaniel Hackett, everybody was like, "Oh my God, the Chiefs should be scared and whatnot because him and Russell Wilson are gonna rule the AFC West," and that shit didn't happen. If anything, that went south quick.
All right. So, all right, so now we go into the color commentary, which in expanding upon the NFL, we are doing our NFL honors segment. Because even though we're going to have NFL honors next week, we're going to kind of do it now because we have something a little more exciting for next week. Your impressive team of the year, the team that impressed you the most this season.
I'm gonna have to go with the Philadelphia Eagles, mainly because, not only did they go undefeated for most of the season, they kept their momentum up near the end of the year as well. They did not pull what the Arizona Cardinals did a year or so ago.
For me, I am taking the San Francisco 49ers in how their defense remains staunch and stingy, and the quarterbacks having to kind of go through a little bit of a merry-go-round and revolving door of them, but still were able to have all of them do some bit of production. Mostly Jimmy G and Purdy, but still, at least they produced. Disappointing team of the year.
I'm gonna have to go in division and go with the Denver Broncos, simply because that first week was not a good start and it slowly progressed downward into a downward spiral, which is how the offense played. The defense was surprisingly phenomenal when you still had Chubb and you had those uh, first year rookies in there. But man, was that offense bad. So I'm going with the Broncos.
I am actually going to throw out there that at the beginning of the year, Buffalo had a lot of hype. However, they are not going to be considered my most disappointing team of the year. My most disappointing team of the year is the Tennessee Titans. They could have played a whole lot better to close out the year and just couldn't do it. But your most surprising team of the year.
Um,
Which team caught you the most off guard?
I'm gonna have to say the Lions because in the beginning they looked really good, but normally you wouldn't think the Lions were a good team at all. Because here's the bottom line: they've been bad, and they always kind of been bad in a sense, but they turned it around a little bit this year. Yeah, they still didn't make the playoffs, but they looked a hell of a lot better.
And they were right on its doorstep.
Yeah. And Dan Campbell was a big proponent of that. Jamal Williams, the running back, was a big proponent of it. Jared Goff was decent. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a dog. And then whenever Jamison Williams came around. He was decent. Like, yeah, he wasn't like a huge breakout star, but he came in when he needed to, and then DJ Chark came in when he needed to as well. That team for me is the most surprising team of the year.
I think I see your Detroit Lions, and I was actually considering them. But I'm actually going to raise you a Jacksonville Jaguars. A team that really showed a lot of promise in pass rush at the start of the year, and even was able to get by the Chargers in the regular season. They kind of fell off a little bit, but then right around the later part of the season, they started to turn up. And then it went into wild card weekend. They got down 27-0. Woke up, turned up, stunned the Chargers. On to Kansas City, put up a fight. Put up a fight and only lose by a little bit. And the ceiling on the Jaguars just only got higher because of how well they exceeded, and surprisingly exceeded my expectation. Other teams that would have qualified, the Jets and the Giants. Offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
My defensive rookie of the year would have to be Sauce, or actually no, not defensive. Well,
No,
okay, I'm going with Sauce Gardner. I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to go for Trent McDuffie, but he was out for like half the year, so I'm gonna go with Sauce Gardner for my defensive rookie of the year.
And how about your offensive?
My offensive, um, my offensive rookie of the year.
The three finalists that actually were in the NFL honors were Brock Purdy, Kenneth Walker, and Garrett Wilson.
I wouldn't even consider those guys offensive players of the year.
Or offensive rookies, you mean?
Yeah, offensive rookies.
What are you gonna go Isaiah Pacheco?
Not even that. God, this is a terrible. I mean, I could use Pacheco as that, but I don't really know, to be honest with you, dude. Let me get back to you on that. What would you say is your offensive rookie and defensive
For
rookie of the year?
me, my two are gonna be a clean sweep. The Jets won the draft this season, as Garrett Wilson will take the offensive rookie of the year, and Sauce Gardner will take the defensive rookie of the year, and as he goes to the stage, accidentally go the wrong way. Offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year.
My defensive player of the year's gotta be Chris Jones, as
I'm
he is
taking Nick Bosa. I'm taking Nick Bosa.
And then offensive player of the year, I'm gonna go with I'm thinking it's between Travis Kelce or Patrick Mahomes, but I want to do Travis Kelce.
I can't gritty, but it's going to be Jay Jettis. I'm taking Justin Jefferson for offensive player of the year.
You know what? Offensive rookie of the year is going to be Isaiah Pacheco for me, because why not? I've been talking about him all year, and he stole Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's starting job. Yeah, they said, oh, he didn't actually steal it, but let's be real here. He took it. Coach of the year. I'm gonna have to say not Doug Peterson. I'm gonna say Nick Sirianni.
Not among the top 3 finalists, unfortunately. Dable, Sirianni, and it wasn't Andy Reid either. Although I would have loved to have had this go to MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell. I am going with, for my coach of the year, Doug Peterson. What storyline from this season do you think caught the biggest eye?
The AFC West division at the beginning of the year, when the division literally spent $2 billion to try to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone doubted us. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to say the storyline for me of the year, Mr. Irrelevant gains relevance. The storyline of the year for me is the Cinderella story that it was Brock Purdy. San Francisco dealing with quarterback injuries and won all these games in a row. What's this kid made of? He's showing it. The non-draft signing or trade of the year. It can be a draft day trade, but a non-draft pick signing or trade of the year.
I'm going to say A.J. Brown going on draft day to the Eagles from the Titans.
If Swole Batman was not my pick, I would have gone with Christian McCaffrey to San Francisco from Carolina and finding really a situation that he found home a lot more. Comeback player of the year.
Saquon Barkley.
I got a Q Country Roads and go with my Mountaineer. Go with a Mountaineer. Geno Smith.
Take me to the place Spanish belongs, West Virginia.
Yep. I am going with Geno Smith as comeback player of the year. Breakout player of the year. Who is a player that, not a rookie, but kind of really you felt broke out?
I'm going to have to say Juju Smith-Schuster, because the past couple of years he did not have the best seasons with the Steelers, but he was also hurt. So that definitely hinders a player's chances of being out there and breaking out like he did this year with the Chiefs.
Now, if I were to talk about my own team, I would be looking at more than likely a Benjamin St. Just or a Daron Payne. However, I think breakouts could happen just about anywhere. And I am honestly going to say that A.J. Brown had truly a breakout. He established very well in Tennessee? Yes. But was he really a number one target that was going to be getting the ball a lot in Nashville? It's a run-dominated team, and Derrick Henry was very much with the ball. A.J. Brown gets traded. Now he's getting the rock. Now he's getting the rock a lot more often, had more touchdowns. I think A.J. Brown had a real coming out party that was worth standing up for.
Made the Titans look like real jabronis.
Moment of the year.
Oh, we're not doing MVP?
I'm
Or are we saving
saving
that for that last? Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. Moment of the year. Really, I'm gonna. For me, since the for the moment of the year is going to be the Monday night game between the Bengals and the Bills.
I think the rallying around for that, yes, is going to be DeMar Hamlin.
Mainly because no one knew what was going to happen near the end of that aftermath, and eventually, yes, he did well, but that was a very dark week, and I will not.
It was a moment that
forget
everybody came together and made it bigger than football. Game of the year.
I'm gonna have to say the AFC Championship game of this year between the Cincinnati Bengals and your Super Bowl bound Kansas City Chiefs.
I am taking Minnesota Indianapolis, where Kirk Cousins was able to orchestrate from 33-0 the greatest comeback in NFL history. And your MVP this year is
So here's my MVP. My MVP for this year is going to be announced by Paul Rudd, as he's going to bring out an envelope, open it, and that envelope is going to read Patrick Mahomes, as he turns his back to the crowd and shows off his Patrick Mahomes vest. I truly believe Patrick Mahomes gets MVP. And I should have had this as my bold take, but I think the Walter Payton Man of the Year also goes to Patrick Mahomes. Could you imagine how insane that would be if he got both MVP and Walter Payton in the same year?
I am actually going to say my MVP will be Jalen Hurts. Everything Jalen Hurts was doing, throwing and running the football, makes it what it is. Leading the most versatile offense in the NFL. I got to give it to Jalen Hurts. And now we move to the primetime game, where last week we created Alma Matters teams based on the current NFL. And I won by getting a full 7 points at the end. But
yeah,
but our primetime game this week is along a similar vein, going along with the Pro Bowl that is this week. And it is a Name That Pro Bowler, where we are doing the countdown scoring again for clues leading to Pro Bowlers all time. However, our cutoff is from 2000s to the present. Most points wins. So, Ruckus, who would you have to go first?
I would like to go first.
Okay. Your first clue for 5 points. I was a member of a 3-headed monster of running backs as part of the 2001 Miami Hurricanes offense in college.
Next one.
For 4 points. I played for 4 teams in my 10-year career, making the Pro Bowl twice. The second Pro Bowl came in my age 30 season.
LaDainian Tomlinson?
Nope. Half of my career, for 3 points, half of my career was spent in the AFC North, but the largest percentage of my career rushing production was with a member of the AFC East.
Frank Gore.
Nope. I was a first-round pick. All right, this is for 2 points. I was a first-round pick in the 2003 NFL Draft, going 23rd overall to the Buffalo Bills.
I need to skip on that one.
For 1 point, the team I spent the longest time with in my career was the Baltimore Ravens at 4 seasons, following the 3 that I spent in Buffalo.
I really don't know. I've got no idea.
This is Willis McGahee. Willis McGahee. You were on the right track with Frank Gore. Frank Gore was a part of that three-headed monster.
I honestly didn't recognize Willis McGahee, and that also just sounds like a baseball player, to be honest. Because
yeah, that three-headed monster in 2001 for the Miami Hurricanes was Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, and Clinton Portis. Which I was shocked you also didn't guess Clinton Portis at a certain point, but Portis was also never a Buffalo Bill. All right. So what you got for me here?
all right, here's your here you go. For 5 points, I'm an 11-time Pro Bowler and 1-time All-Pro.
Next one.
For 4 points, I was the 3rd overall pick in the 2004 draft from the University of Pittsburgh.
University of Pittsburgh. You said it was the 2004 NFL draft.
Uh-huh.
Manning you had Eli at 1 and Rivers at 4. Roethlisberger didn't go to Pitt. Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep.
So that was for 4?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Excuse me. Here is your first one for 5 points. I was the first quarterback to grace the cover of Madden following my second year in the league when I was selected to my first Pro Bowl.
Who is Donovan McNabb?
Nope. All 3 of my Pro Bowl appearances, and this is for 4 points, came in the NFC with the first team I played for. The downslide of my career was when I was a part of 3 different teams in 4 seasons.
Dante Culpepper?
You got it.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, my first guess was Michael Vick, and then I was thinking, Culpepper? No, wait, that can't be. And then I was like, okay, let's say Culpepper and see if he says, eh.
No, it actually was Dante Culpepper for Madden NFL 2002. My career high passing season was overtaken for Offensive Player of the Year by Peyton Manning due to him breaking Dan Marino's touchdown record. I started the majority of the games in the Detroit Lions 0-16 season in 2008. And your 1-pointer was I threw passes to both Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss during the early stages of each of their careers. All right. All right, my second one, Ruckus.
All right. I'm a 5-time Pro Bowler and a 1-time All-Pro.
Next clue.
For 4 points. I am part of 9 others on the same team to be voted into the 2023 Pro Bowl.
You said a part of 9 others?
Correct. He's included in those 9 others, so it's not 10, it's just 9.
I think I'm going to need another clue.
Did you hear the part about the Pro Bowl 2023?
Yeah, I knew it was this year's Pro Bowl.
Okay. Do you want me to add to the 4-pointer, or do you want to skip?
Okay, yeah. If you were giving more information for the 4th pointer before you got to the 3-point clue, that's fine.
The team that he was voted in for in the Pro Bowl was the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, so he was an Eagle?
Yes.
Okay. AJ Brown.
Incorrect.
Okay, 3 points.
I have a career high of 8 interceptions in 2017 and 26 career total interceptions as of the present day.
Darius Slay Jr.
Correct.
Okay, so that's 3. All right.
So you have 7 total.
7-4.
Yep.
Okay. For 5 points. Though I played football for the University of Purdue, I was also a baseball player for the Boilermakers during my time there.
Yep.
For 4 points, I am a 13-time Pro Bowl selection, but only one of those Pro Bowls was with the AFC team I was drafted to.
Next.
For 3 points, I have a cabinet full of awards, including a Super Bowl MVP, a Comeback Player of the Year award, and even a Walter Payton Man of the Year honor.
Russell
But
Wilson?
I was never an NFL MVP.
Russell Wilson?
Nope.
Damn it.
I was a teammate of LaDainian Tomlinson, and we came out of the same draft class. But between the two of us, I was not the first-round pick.
Eli Manning?
Eli Manning was 3 years sooner.
Damn it.
Or 3 years later. And for 1 point, I am the only quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards in a season more than twice.
Phillip Rivers?
I said not a first-round pick. The correct answer was Drew Brees.
God damn it, I was thinking Drew, but I wasn't sure.
The correct answer was Drew Brees. And I actually knew that I had given you every single good clue. Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson didn't even go to Purdue.
He went to Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's why his whole thing is that he came from a whole pack of Badgers. And then Phillip Rivers was not Purdue either. NC State. Man, I had that. That one was well laid out too. He said it was a teammate of LaDainian Tomlinson, and we came out of the same draft class. Drew Brees was picked number 32.
I should have known when you said I only played 1 year in the AFC. That was a big giveaway.
He was only he was selected to only 1 Pro Bowl for the AFC team I was drafted to. Drew Brees was drafted as a Charger.
Right, and then he was traded to the Saints.
think it was actually a free agency deal, but I did not mean to get you on that one. All right, round 3 for me.
All right, for 5 points. I am a 3-time Pro Bowler and 3-time All-Pro.
Need a little bit more here. 4 points.
I had 1,555 career high rushing yards in my first year with the Chiefs.
Priest Holmes?
God damn it, yes. What gave that away?
First year with the Kansas City Chiefs. I knew that Priest Holmes started out his career in Baltimore.
I was trying to figure out when he was drafted, and it turns out he was not. The next clue was going to be he was an undrafted free agent in '97, and then the 2-pointer. I didn't know how far I was going to go on the Priest Holmes tree because I didn't know if you're going to get it. So actually, I stopped at 2 at the 2-pointer, as he was a 1-time Super Bowl champion 2000. So there are a couple where I was like, this is kind of obvious, so I'm not going to try too hard getting a 1-pointer.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, as soon as you said first season with the Chiefs, I was like, that's Priest. Okay. Here's one for you. I have, for 5 points, I am a Pro Football Hall of Famer and a 12-time Pro Bowl selection, making the Pro Bowl with both teams that I played for in my career.
Who's Peyton Manning?
Nope. Nope. And this is a 2019 Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Just so you got, for 4 points, I had a brother that also made it into the NFL and was drafted 4 years after me, and we both played our college ball for the Georgia Bulldogs. So your 4-point clue there. So the 4-point clue kind of ousted the Peyton Manning idea.
Right. And you said him and his brother were 4 years apart in the NFL, so this is gonna sound probably not right, but Dalvin Cook.
Nope. Dalvin Cook went to Florida State. For 3 points, my first name is actually Roland. I'm gonna have to give you the 2-pointer. The team I first played for traded me in 2004 for Clinton Portis, a 2-time Pro Bowler in his own right.
Oof. Why is this so hard? For me. LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh no! My jersey number for both teams I played for was 24.
I'm lost. Who was it?
It was Champ Bailey.
Okay.
His brother's name was his brother, granted, that also had like a nickname that kind of stuck. It was Boss Bailey.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one was actually Champ Bailey. But that's why I said, I was like, that trade was Champ Bailey for Clinton Portis. That was kind of the one I was trying to guide you to Champ Bailey for that one.
Yeah.
All right. The next one.
All right. For 5 points, I'm a 6-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro.
Next clue.
I was drafted 36th overall in the second round of the 2001 draft.
So this was 4 picks after Drew Brees. Next clue.
I have spent 10 years with the Bengals and then 1 year with the Patriots.
Chad Johnson?
Yes, sir. Chad Ochocinco.
Yep.
At Ochocinco on Instagram, if you ever want to harass him, I guess. The next clue was going to be known for his nickname Ochocinco, and then I gave up on the 1 point clue.
Cousin of Keyshawn Johnson? That would have been an interesting one to throw in there.
I wanted to go more for stats rather than just be...
Yeah.
That's why I was having a hard time with a couple of these. I was like, shit, Slay hasn't been in the league for that long, and Holmes I gave up because I started thinking, okay, if I put a Pro Bowler for one and then a All Pro for the second clue, that's just being a dick at this point.
Okay. So here's my last one. I am a 4-time Pro Bowl selection, and those selections came while I was in the NFC North Division, and this happened while I played for 2 different teams in the division.
Next.
I played my college football as a Tennessee Volunteer.
Next.
I was a first-round pick by the Minnesota Vikings and made the Pro Bowl my rookie year there.
Repeat, please.
I was a first-round pick by the Minnesota Vikings and made the Pro Bowl as my rookie year there.
Who's Randy Moss?
Nope. And the interesting thing is that this would have applied. This almost applied. For every team that I played for, my jersey number has not changed. Wearing number 84 at every single place I played.
Justin Watson?
Nope. After playing wide receiver for much of my career, I'm currently in the running back room as a member of the Atlanta Falcons.
Tyler Algier?
Primarily making the Pro Bowl as a special teamer. The correct answer is Cordarrelle Patterson.
Oh. I couldn't remember what Cordell Patterson's
jersey number was. That's why I said 84 at every single place I played.
Right.
I'm at, and what am I at? 14? 14 going into the last one?
Yeah, something like that. Because you had 4 for, you had 4, 7, 10. Yeah, so it's 14. All right, here's your 5-pointer. First time All-Pro in 2000, 6-time Pro Bowler.
First team All-Pro 2006 time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, first time All-Pro in 2000, 6-time Pro Bowler, sorry.
You said first time as an All-Pro was in 2000?
Uh-huh.
Next one.
Carried a total of 1,437 yards for the year. That was
Talking
2000.
Marshall Falk.
Incorrect.
Okay. 3-pointer.
And the same year had 15 touchdowns total for the season. This was the second year in the league. I'll combine that with number 2. So this is still 3. This is still 3.
All right, 2-pointer.
I already said the 2-pointer that combined with it. So I'll make the 2-pointer what my 1-pointer was. So here's your 2-pointer. Known for the catchphrase, getting a mossed.
Oh, this is Randy Moss.
Yep. So now you have 16.
Yeah, that was. Oh wow! If I would have used Randy Moss, I would have done that a lot differently. Because Randy Moss, I would have very much used. I very much would have used some of the some of the ties with him. But we now go to our weekly stud and dud. Who you got, Ruckus?
All right. So my studs this week are the Chiefs rookies, and this goes for both the offense and the defense, as various George Karlaftis had a couple. I believe he had 1 sack, but he did a damn good job of it. Jalen Watson, one of the rookie corners that was a part of that 98-yard interception in the second week of the season, and also had a hell of a interception against Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship game. Then you had Trent McDuffie, who had a bunch of very big plays, including an almost interception in the first drive, or first defensive drive. And then you had Brian Cook, who was part of the double trouble where him and another rookie, Joshua Williams, were after a Bengals wide receiver. I believe it was either Jamar Chase or Boyd or Higgins. I don't remember which ones they were, who it was, but all I remember was Brian Cook deflected the ball, and then Josh Williams came and picked up the ball for an interception. Both of those guys made a clutch moment there. And then the last player who was on offense, he was part of that drive that got us that game-winning field goal, Sky Moore, who for the longest time this season had a rough patch with special teams, and he showed and made it count. Can I also do my honorable mention really quick too?
Yep, go for it.
All right, so my honorable mention this week is the legendary call that Mitch Holtis has put in stone in Chiefs history, where he said, "You can dislike the Chiefs, you can disrespect the Chiefs, but you're gonna have to deal with the Chiefs. Grab a bucket of guts."
Oh, wow. That definitely is a very interesting call. All right, but my stud this week was the trolling that came about from Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce involving the Cincinnati Bear. Patrick Mahomes using Pete Weber's "Who do you think you are? I am" moment And then Travis Kelce channeling his inner rock, telling a Cincy mayor to know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
I thought it was a slur, so I had to look it up on Google. I was like, what is a jabroni? And then I was like, oh.
Oh, like he actually was talking, like running his mouth.
Dude, I'll go ahead with your dud.
Oh, my dad was already mentioned earlier in the
Okay.
in the show.
Can I also mention something about that Travis Kelce's and other moments? So, my favorite moment from the post game interviews had to be when at the beginning, or whenever they were talking to Patrick Mahomes before Travis Kelce even showed up to the plate. Orlando Brown Jr. was in the beginning of his speech. When they're interviewing Mahomes, he said, "Put some respect on his name. Put some respect on his name. Stamp it." And then he literally did like a stamping motion to Patrick Mahomes' jersey on the left near the Lamar Hunt patch, the AFC patch. And then there's the very famous set in stone saying from Travis Kelce saying, "Burrowhead my ass." Love that guy. Anyways, my dud for this week is the fact that the 49ers wanted Christian McCaffrey to switch helmets as he was the possible QB4. In
Wow, why are you
reality, he
saying
became
that?
he was still the running back, but yeah. All right.
Oh, but I mean, they were being prepared for just in case, but Purdy came back into the game despite his torn UCL and all. And the 49ers just couldn't make a play. But go ahead and take us out, Ruckus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Ruckus and The Menace Sports Podcast. I am Ruckus.
And I'm Ruckus and The Menace.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to share our videos with your friends. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you hate my guts. And let
He
us
said
know
it, not me.
let us know in the comment section what if you have any questions about certain things from the episode, or if you enjoy our content and just wanted to let us know. Yeah, that's all I've got for this episode. We will see y'all later.
All right, deuces.